Hi, I'm Mahesh Gulani. The channel is Guru Gyan, and today, what I'm going to talk about is the subject not only India is talking about, but the whole world. Aren't you interested? What is it that's happening in India, which the whole world wants to know and is interested to see the results? I'm sure you guessed it. Yes, you're right. We're talking about the Indian elections 2024 and what it means to India today and to the world. Guys, needless to say that these elections in India are being held in the very hot season of India. Hot, I mean climate wise. Uh, it's 40 degrees almost everywhere in India. Wish that the world was talking not about the Indian elections, but about this climate change. Today or tomorrow, we have to pick up on this climate change, and this heat in India these days is much different from what was in the past. Anyway, what I'm going to talk to you about and tell you is the Indian elections, which are being held from 19th April 2024 to the 1st of June, which is about what, 50 days, let's say, give it here and there. और ये इलेक्शंस की रिजल्ट निकलेगी 4 जून शाम को. हम तब हमें पता पड़ेगा कि किस पार्टी ने अच्छे वोट से जीती है, which party, which party's candidates have won, and have they reached the halfway stage. The seats that are there begging are 543, and what the parties are looking for are 272 seats. Yes, you heard it right, 272 seats. Now, do you know that? Now, the trivia about the Indian election, there are 900 parties in India that are wanting to win and be part of it, the Indian electorate. How many candidates are there? There are about 10,000 candidates, about 10,000 candidates who are in the fray. Now, let me tell you, on an average, it's been seen that every candidate is spending roughly about 1 crore Indian rupees. Yes, 1 crore. So you can multiply and add and come to know how much it is. That's why the Indian elections are called the most expensive elections held anywhere in the world. So not only because of expensive elections that the world wants to know about uh, the conduct of the Indian elections, it's how a country like India are managing the voters, about 95 crores. 95 crores. Now, the interesting part is 2 crores have been added this time in 2024. 2 crores, how? Because they have now grown up to be 18 or above. And surprising, my dear friends, is that there are more girls who entered into the new recruits 2 crores. Yes. And well, the ratio for the men and women for voting, the electorate, is almost 50% this side and that side is almost. You'll be surprised to know that in smaller towns and villages, there are more women who come to vote than there are men seen. It seems that they come early in the morning or later in the evening. Anyway, now, now I must tell you that from the north to the south and from the east to the west of India, the polling booths have been located in such a way that for a voter to vote, it cannot be more than 2 kilometers. Now they have polling booths in the middle of a sanctuary, maybe in a shed of a old ship, uh, in the top of a hill near a snow cap or a desert, and 15 crore people are directly or indirectly working on these elections to be held peacefully, conducted well. Each voter gets its due. The world wants to see how peaceful it is, so they are also looking at the security and no untoward incident. Earlier in the elections, there were unruly mob because there were these booth snatching and there were ballot papers. But now you have electronic voting system. Of course, there's a different story that opposition of the current government were not wanting EVMs and they wanted to go back to the old ballot paper systems. But anyway, these things do happen in a. Now, just imagine the world has become a village. There are houses, there are rich houses, and there are poor houses. But people, there are two, three, four, five people living in each house. But there in the middle of that village, there is a house, which we let's say that that's India, where in that little house, there are more than 100 people living. And there are 30 castes people, religions. There are, I mean 30 religions, and there are castes which are more than 2000 people talking in so many different languages, and they are living all together in that small house. There is a festival almost every day, and the surrounding houses where there are two people, one person, or maybe four, five, 10, but they are still wondering how come that this house, which I am putting it as India, which actually symbolizes India, how is it possible that so many people are living peacefully? Yeah, there is a little skirmish here and there, but they settle it. There is a sound, there is probably some crackers burning, but they solve it. At the end of the day, they are back again celebrating. Look, I'm a Hindu, but I am wearing this costume, which is called a Pathani suit, and a Pathani suit is worn by the Muslims. What I mean to say is that in India, people live and wear all sorts of clothes, and they celebrate each other's religion. And if anybody is talking about the current government being against the minorities of any kind, whether it's Sikhs or Muslims, I think they are wrong, because the triple talaq was abolished by this government. The Article 370 was abrogated by this government, and Prime Minister Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has specially talked with the Saudi Arabian people who are at the helm, that allow the Muslims to come and offer their prayers at Makkah, Medina, and make it cheaper for them, give them easy way, which is the visa system, and help them. Maybe almost give them a free passage there, and to the women and girls especially. And who else can do these kind of things? How can anybody say that the present Indian government is not in favor of the minorities? You can't. You don't appease anybody. If you appease someone, if you're playing too much with someone, then the other person get upset. So in India, when I said that big house in the middle of the village, it treats everybody equally. There are people, there are children there are old people living there, but they are all peaceful. That's why the world wants to know what is there in India, what is the magic which uh, cement them together. And now this election, they are waiting eagerly that something should happen. I'm talking about those countries who are against, or also the skeptics, the critics, the so-called the policemen of the world who think they know everything. But imagine today in the US, there are demonstrations in the universities, and the police is not behaving well with them. But they were lecturing us on our university campuses, where they thought that the police was showing their high-handedness. So very nicely, the minister S. Jaishankar has told them that, look, you please mind your own business. Now India can look after itself. We don't need your endorsements. Yes, that means India has arrived. Now India has arrived, which means today we are bold enough, we are strong enough to say these kind of things to very rich countries or very powerful countries. Even today, China is also very powerful, and we are talking to them eye to eye. Why? How is that possible? It wasn't there 20, 30 years back. It's because of the present government, which has made us proud to be an Indian, right? When I last went abroad to Europe, the immigrations, normally earlier when I was a student, I would go, they would say, you come from India? And they would question 10, 20, some I had to embarrass me. Now this time, oh, you're coming from India? Oh, how's India? How's Bangalore? How's the IT? Great. And how's Shah Rukh Khan? Yes, they do ask these kind of questions, and you feel so proud. Yes, India, let me tell you today, is not only selling Bollywood, yoga, chai, or tangri kebabs. India today, let me tell you very proudly, is also selling the art of management, leadership qualities. How to do these, how to have gratitude, how to have a peace in your heart, how to make everybody together, how to put everybody together on a table and think same. G20 is a proof of that. When Russia was fighting Ukraine, both are friends. India didn't take sides. You don't have to take sides. You don't have to appease someone to get something out of it. I'll say we are not opportunists that way. Convenience. We don't go for convenience. India, when I say we, which means Indians, want to see and give it a logical conclusion. It might sometimes be bad for us? When this house I was talking about in the middle of the village, where there were so many people, and of course 35% were younger, and when COVID came, the entire village where there were 2 people, 3 people living, the countries like I would say Western countries and the affluent countries started thinking, oh, India will be finished because this disease is contagious and they will die. And almost the half of the population of India will go. No, India stood up. India is capable today. It's not only stood up, but it helped 100 countries all over the world and give them vaccine to save them. Yes, that is India today, incredible India. This is what I want to tell the world. India is different now. Come to India, come to New Delhi, come to Bangalore, Pune, Bombay, Calcutta, and see for yourself. You can see life. People are living. Even if a porter carrying something on his head has got a smile. Look at his look. People there in the West, in the affluent countries, have forgotten what's a smile. And let me tell you, friends, today, vendors on the roadside, I was just yesterday wanted to have coconut water, and that costs only 30 rupees, even not even a dollar, less than a dollar, less than half a dollar. And he tells me you can make payment through the QR code. And not only him, there was another fruit vendor where I wanted to buy some fruits also. He also had the QR code, which means today everything is transparent. Every dealing is transparent. Earlier people thought that this is against some community. No, it's good. Everybody is paying their tax. Today India has become, today the tax paying in India is the highest ever before. It's never happened. Now that I'm talking about the beauty of India today, the digital world, the digitized India is showing everybody what the digital world can do. And today we are making the phones which we are manufacturing, and very soon 25% of the world will have our phones, our lovely phones that we are making. Yes. And what more to say about India? So now we're talking about elections, which is what you would like to know. Now, elections. This is the 18th general election that's happening in India. Yeah, 18th, 1-8. Before that, there were 2 elections, one in 1951-52 and one in 1977, which were very important. It was like watershed. The world was looking at this, at the general elections. And they had forgotten their own elections because they wanted to know and wanted to see that something very drastic will happen. 51-52, because it was for the first time the elections were held, people didn't know what to do. It was Alice in Wonderland type, who to vote, how to vote. So therefore, that was kind of a watershed. 77, why? Then because the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had earlier declared a state of emergency because there was little chaos in India. The government and the party that couldn't handle, so they declared the state of emergency, which means the powers were totally in their hands, and a lot of things came under control, which I would definitely agree, because trains were running late, planes were running late, there was chaos almost everywhere, the cases you could not file, and everything was just not the way that you wanted. But the state of emergency was like having a heavy hand, and it dealt with a heavy hand, so everything was straight. Now, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was probably advised by her close confidants or by the bureaucracy that go for the elections now, you will win hands down. But it didn't happen like that. Yes, Indian electorate is smart. Don't think that it's an illiterate country. It may not be educated as much as in the West, but it's got something here. The grey cells are good because of the time, because of our Vedas, because of our culture, because of the way we are taught at home when we are children. So, and of course, not forgetting, because of this namaskar that we do, joining, folding our hands together. It's a lovely process. Try it. Anybody in the West looking at this, try this namaskar. So now Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister currently. You'll be surprised to know that his party had won only 2 seats. Yes, only 2 seats in the 1984 elections. Today he's talking about 400 se zyada. 400 se zyada means more than 400 seats. Where is that confidence coming? It's coming because he's doing it. If today a country's Prime Minister or the President touches the feet of the Prime Minister when he arrives in that country, it is not only the respect for the Prime Minister, it is for 140 crores Indians. Yes, you Indian, if you're watching, it is also salute to you by that country. And they are doing it now. They are saluting our Prime Minister. But they are telling 140 crore Indians that, yes, you showed it to us. Not only the IPL, but you should how to govern, how to run a country. And Modi is not looking at 2 years, 3 years, 5 years plans, which the earlier government saw. Modi is looking at 2047 when India will be a superpower. Yes, first step 2029, and the second step is 2049. That, my dear friends, is confidence today. The confidence that we all Indians have. I'm not talking totally about us party, but I'm talking about the confidence that Indians have today. The candidates that they are choosing, they're happy with them. Yes, they're happy with them. And when on 4th June the election results would come out, only then we will know. हमको पता पड़ेगा कि 400 से ज्यादा या 400 के आगे पीछे. But ये तो तय है. The poll predictions, even by the opposition parties, that Modi is coming back once again. We have, as I am recording this, the second phase is over. 5 more remain. The last one is on 1st June. Yesterday, the second phase happened, and about 67% voters voted, even in this heat. The people in the West said, why are they holding elections in this hot season? Mad. Defies all logic. Our minister, Jay Shankar, told them, even if in this heat, if you say that there was a low voter turnout, but it is more than yours majority turnout, what you talk about the record turnout, even that, our lowest is more than you. Today, they are getting back in their own coin. Today, India is in a position to be top in BRICS, to be top in Quad, G7, G20. Talk about any forum, Global South, Global North, everybody wants India to be there. India, I'm saying, a representative of India, each representative of Prime Minister Modi, whether it's Jay Shankar or it's Nirmala Sitharaman or it's Nitin Gadkari or it's any minister that Amit Shah, of course, how can I forget him? They're all delivering. They're not there, and I'm sure the person who's managing all is looking at all this. There is no corruption. Corruption is almost gone. In fact, the BJP, when it came in 2014, they said that we'll clear the corruption and we'll give water and other things, which they delivered. And of course, the Ram Temple, which the world will come and see how great that monument is being built, and it has redefined the history, and we are all celebrating it. So even in this heat, we are celebrating. Even if there are election fever, we are celebrating. Indians know how to celebrate. I am celebrating. You should also celebrate. And we will meet again on 4th June when I'm only talking about the election part. But see you again. This is Mahesh Gulani signing off. Once again, wanting to meet you next week with another subject which will be as interesting as it was today.